SK Vibemaker.
Dutchavelli's in the building, man.
Oh God, big man, that's good.
Hey, you know one thing I have to say from the top of the interview, the voice is actually like how people should expect it to be. You know, you got a lot of artists putting on voices and that these days.
Yeah, no.
This is your actual voice.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, was it always like this?
No, of course not.
No?
No.
What happened, man?
I just grew up with it.
Straight. I mean, there's one thing like your voice breaking. I mean, like breaking is like it gets deeper, and there's another thing having like this gravelly voice, man.
Yeah.
I mean, was there like excessive alcohol consumption or?
No, I'm definitely not an excessive alcohol consumer.
So this just happened as you grew older.
Yeah, man.
Straight up, man. That's all good, man.
Yeah.
So talk to us about this chapter in your career at the moment, because it seems like it's a new chapter. You've gone into a new phase. Everything's turned up. You got the latest single. It's getting a lot more traction than a lot of your other singles that you've released so far. So talk to us about this chapter in your career, man.
Yeah, no, this is the first single I released in the past 2 years, isn't it? So obviously it's good to get this reception. I'm grateful, of course. You know what I mean? I'm just ready to give them some more music. But at the moment, the song is still growing. It's still doing like 80,000 views a day. You know what I mean? So it'd be unfair to take it away and start promoting something else. I'm just waiting for it to slow down a little bit.
Is there something you feel like you've done differently to get this type of traction all of a sudden at the top of 2020?
You know what it is with the drill sound? It's like combined with the streets and everything. It just merges together so well, and it just connected. So
I'm happy to hear you say that. The drill sound, are you claiming that, like being a drill artist at the moment then? Because there's a lot of artists that make predominantly UK drill at the moment, and I sit down with them and they'll be like, I'm not a drill artist. Are you claiming that? Is Dutchavelli a drill artist?
No, I'm not a drill artist, you know, big man.
So you're going to do the same thing as well then?
No, but you know what it is? I'm not the same as every other artist though. You know what I mean? Like if you actually look back at all my songs, I'm not, like I don't do one thing specifically, you know what I mean? But I'm just very good at what I do. You get me? But this drill thing, this is what I do naturally. This is my forte. Like if you look at my first song I released, when I come into the game, it's the same type of sound, but it was just a bit too advanced. You know what I mean?
So for those that don't know, break down the timeline, the musical history to this point, man. Like, I mean, you've been releasing music for a few years now. Music going back to like 2017, I believe. You know,
I released my first video in 2016.
There you go, 2016.
Yeah.
So break down the musical journey so far.
Yeah, I released my first music video in 2016. It's called New Jack City.
Of course.
And that had a good response for my first video, you know what I mean? Then I released, let's say like 10 videos or 8 to 10 videos in the 2 years leading up to 2018, summertime. Then I've come back then I took a break for 2 years, obviously. I was on holiday, should I say. And I come out and I dropped this tune in it, and it just went crazy. So it was a 2 year gap in between it. So yeah, it's good, man.
Some people knew him as Dutch before.
Yeah.
I knew him as Dutch before. Then I heard about Dutchavelli. I was like, are they the same guy? Is there going to be beef because someone's like, you know what I mean, coming with a similar name? Talk to me about the transition from Dutch to Dutchavelli.
You know what it is? It's like, my name's always been Dutch, innit? Like since I was like 13. Like my friends always call me Dutch because I had a Dutch accent. And I speak Dutch, I'm bilingual. But obviously Dutchavelli just came with it. Like since like I remember when I was like 13, once I recorded a song, and then my name was Dutchavelli there, you know what I mean? But I just never took the artistry serious. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, now that I really took the music serious, it's like I've changed my title to my actual artist name. You know what I mean? Dutchavelli.
Like a new phase as well.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone should know. Some people know. A lot of people do know. Maybe some people don't know. But you have a very famous sister, you know what I'm saying, who's definitely doing her thing. She's like a celebrity now. SteffLon Dons is your sister.
Yeah.
How has it been having...
She is a celebrity now, big man.
She is, that's what I'm saying, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to say it on a humble one, because maybe I knew her before that, innit? Yeah. So like, to have a celebrity sister who's been so successful in music and coming out in your own right as a musician, what's the pros and cons to that?
Obviously, the pros is like, obviously it's dope, innit? It's like Jamie and Skepta, innit? It's like when you find out they're siblings, it's dope. And it's like people that like her I think they would be open to giving me a listen, you know what I mean? But obviously, the cons is that people think that everything that's happening is probably due to my sister, you know what I mean? And it's far from it. Do you get it? This has been my journey, you get me? And I'm so happy to see my sister's journey, but I just took that as inspiration, you know what I mean?
Have you had to bat away much of those cons? People just feeling like you're here when you're getting some type of look because of your sister?
You know what it is? Before, it used to bother me, innit? But I just make sure that my talent's undeniable, you know what I mean? And what I put out is undeniable, so it's like, no matter how you got to listen to me, you're gonna hear that I've got talent, you know what I mean? I didn't just get it just because I know someone, you know what I mean?
Straight up.
It's just not that, yeah, straight.
Do you sit down and hold counsel much about music? Does she give you much advice? I don't know how the dynamic is because
100%.
she's your older sister.
Yeah.
She's had a lot of success before
Yeah,
you.
100%. She always give me advice, man, and I always go to her for advice, you know what I mean? And vice versa, she might come to me for advice. But 100%, man, we always sit and talk about what our next moves are going to be and, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, of course, because in the morning when you wake up in the kitchen and you go to get breakfast more time, you know what I mean? You might see your sister go to get breakfast. She might be leaving to go to work or whatever, but you just have the morning chat or whatever, innit? Same with my other siblings. It's just the same thing, you know what I mean?
Are you lot quite close? Have you always been quite close?
Yeah, no, 100%. But it's like we live two different lives, innit? So it's like she could be all over the world sometimes, you know what I mean? And then I'm doing what I'm doing. So it's like we're close, but it's like as close as our timeline allows us to be, you know what I mean?
Straight up.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I feel like by default, people before it got out that you were her younger sibling, people just automatically assume that you was older. Do you feel like you heard that much? That you heard that much?
Yeah. I always get that people are shocked that I'm a younger brother, innit? But you know what it is? I've always felt like the older brother anyway.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, no, I've always been mad protective over her or whatever since a little boy.
That's how it goes, man.
But those are the traits of an older brother, you know what I mean?
So in memories, there was something that you spoke about and you just mentioned it about the little holiday that you had, man. You was away for a little while. You was locked up. Now, not all artists experience that. I mean, humans in life, you know, and being a musician before you were locked up for a while to then come out and then do music again and then get a spring. How was it for you bouncing back from, you know, being locked up and then, you know, being released and then returning to music? How easy or hard was it to bounce back?
You know what it is like, if you give someone enough time to think, it depends what they do at the time, innit? You know what I mean? But in that time, obviously, I've mapped out in my head what I want to do and where I want to go, innit? And that I don't want to end up back in that same situation, you know what I mean? And why I keep ending back up in that same situation. So something's got to change, you know what I mean? So I thought this time when I get out, because I don't want to end up here, I'm going to put 100% into my craft, you know what I mean?
Because it was on memories that you mentioned at 17, the judge tried to give me 6 years or something like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%, and I've done 5 years out of that 6.
Is it 5 years that you did, yeah?
Yeah, out of that 6 year sentence, 100%.
Damn.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, you know what I mean? So this time, when I've gone John, I come out this time now, I'm like, yo, it's like, bro, I've got to make a change, you know what I mean? So when I come out this time, I felt like it was more easier getting into it because I've let go a lot of the baggage that stopped me from being Dutchavelli, if you know what I mean, from being an artist. And that's what it is.
You know, talk to me about the stigmas then maybe attached because, you know, this is the music industry.
Yeah.
Just in walks in life in general, there can be a particular look towards someone who's, you know, been locked up for a bit, man. Yeah. Little do they know what it was about and how circumstances led to you being locked up and stuff. How has it been recovering from maybe the stigma attached to being, you know, locked up for a bit?
You know what it is at the moment, and in the job that I do, I'm so grateful as well. It's like everyone's in their own world, innit? So it's like our worlds could collide no matter what we've done before. You know what I mean? Because this is your job and this is my job. You know what I mean? So a lot of these stigmas is like they really matter to the people that are trying to get average 9-to-5 jobs or even that got qualifications, but they got do you know what I mean? But to be honest with you, there might be people that don't want to work with me because they think maybe this guy's been to jail or whatever. You know what I mean? But I don't really feel it because I'm just in my own bubble. You know what I mean? Right now at the moment.
Trust.
Yeah, trust. 100.
Were you always lived in East London?
Nah, I used to live in Rotterdam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, you was born in Holland, right?
No, I was born in Birmingham.
You was born in Birmingham, then you spent time out in Holland.
Yeah.
And then you've come back and you've landed in East London.
Yeah.
So where do you feel the most affinity to, man?
Are you gonna make people hate me, man?
No, man.
No,
I mean, you could speak about the different reasons why you feel affinity with either of those places.
No, you know what it is with me. Yeah, it's like, I feel like as a young you, I feel like a little bit of a traveller. You know what I mean? Because we just moved all over the place due to circumstances or whatever. But the place where I've been grounded for the longest is East London and Hackney. You know what I mean? And I came there when I was like 11. You know what I mean? So growing up into a teenage boy and into a man, that's what I know, you know what I mean? Yeah. Do
you have plans to go back? I mean, obviously you're still climbing over here, steadily ascending this UK market, this UK scene over here. Do you have much plans to go back to Holland and attack that scene over there? Has that crossed your mind?
Yeah, 100%, because I love everything about Holland almost, you know what I mean? I love the Dutch culture and that. You know what I mean? I still speak Dutch fluently. I fly back and forth frequently, you know what I mean? But I just haven't been for a bit.
Straight up.
But 100%, it will be nice, you know what I mean?
So I don't feel like I've heard any of your bilingual raps yet.
No.
I mean, is that going to be a thing though?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
You've been thinking about it?
I've been thinking about it.
It's techie.
Yeah, it's techie.
You don't know how people are going to respond to that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
No, but you know what it is? Why I'm thinking about it is because I just think about how I'm gonna put it in there, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna do it if it's not cold, you know what I mean? So I'm not worried about what people are gonna think. I know people are gonna think it's cold if I do it, but it's for me to be able to do it to that standard, you know what I mean?
I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend like I know a lot about Dutch rap. And I mean, you have heritage, you know, from Holland, you know, Dutch heritage. Is there anything popping over there at the moment?
Yeah, no, the Dutch music is popping, man.
No, I know the music's popping. I mean, the rap game though.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, you see all of the music that is popping over there, like, and it sounds a bit like reggaeton cross trap. It sounds a bit mad. That's all, like, they're rappers. They just rap over those type of beats. You know what I mean? That's what goes mainstream over there, but they're really rapping some stuff, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What's your take on the current UK rap scene? I mean, when I ask people this question, I'm quite surprised in, you know, the different type of feedback that people give me. So I find it quite interesting to ask this question. So what's your take on what's popping at the moment, or what's happening in this UK music scene at the moment?
Listen, I could only say the music scene is that, bro, look, Stormzy and Dave, all these guys just want Brits over there, and you know what I mean? So our music scene has never been in a better position. You know what I mean? People might say some of the music is questionable, but that's something else. But the music scene itself has never been at a greater position. You know what I mean? The whole world is tuned into us.
Why do you think people could maybe even query the music being questionable?
Why?
Yeah.
No, it's like, you know what it is? It's like, there's a lot of dope music, but then it's like, where's the substance? It's like, we need to support the people that's got the substance as well, you know what I mean? I might not be the guy for the substance, or I might be, you never know.
Straight up.
But I'm just saying, innit? Like, there's a lot of people out there that has got substance, but we don't really support them because we just want to listen to the dope and the waviest, you know what I mean? So that's all it is. That's the only thing I feel like we're lacking. Like substance, like more storytellers, like Shiro story, Rapman and stuff.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? But that's about it, man. Apart from that, I think the game is in a dope position.
Variety is the necessity for life. They say something like that. It's some kind of saying. I don't know if I got it right.
Like
you know what I'm saying?
Something
like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're not the guy with the substance, Dutchavelli, what kind of artist are you?
No,
at the moment, if you're not the guy that does that type of thing, what are you? What type of artist are you at the moment?
No, you know, 100%. I think I got substance, but you know what it is. It's down to the consumer to feel like whether I got substance. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just like, I just do reality rap, man. No matter
Straight
what
up.
beef it is, no matter what beat is on. You know what I mean? I could only be real, man.
Definitely got that hardcore raw sound at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people might query and question how far you can go with it. You know what I mean? But if people like the music, they like the music.
Yeah.
But at this stage in your career, Would you be willing to compromise to gain a wider audience? Is that something you ever consider?
At this stage of my career?
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Nah?
No, why?
Would you ever consider that?
Listen, let me tell you something about music, yeah? Music is the expressive of emotion, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So at this point, my emotion is just in a state of only if you knew, whatever, you know what I mean? But when my emotions change, I am going to stay true to them, you know what I mean? And I'm going to express them. And that's what it is. I'm just an honest artist, if you get what I'm saying. If you look back at some of my music, you know what I mean? But at the moment, this is what I feel like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not just going to change it for the climate of the market.
Straight up, man.
Yeah,
It takes a focused artist to be like that, though. You know what I mean? With integrity. Because not a lot of artists have that integrity. Yeah. You see a lot of artists going with the wind and bandwagoning and stuff, man.
Yeah, no, you see a lot of artists, I feel sorry for them when they do that because I feel like they're so dope. Their individuality, however you say it, is what counts to me, you know what I mean?
Straight
and then
up.
when I see them trying to act like him, it's like, oh, we're losing that. You know what I mean? We're losing the addition to the game because you're trying to be like him now.
My thing.
So we don't have the variety we need. Yeah, I just feel like everyone should just work to their strongest abilities. You know what I mean? And not try and work on your weaknesses to sound like him.
Straight up.
Yeah.
What are some of your ambitions as a musician?
Some of my ambitions? Just as a musician or in life?
I mean, just as a musician. I mean, we could have a totally different conversation if we want to talk about life.
No, as a musician, I just want to... I always want to stay in the music business, whether it's rapping, whether it's signing artists, managing artists, you know what I mean? Or even managing one of these big labels one day, you know what I mean? You never know.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but I'm always going to do something. Or not, maybe not even necessarily just music, you know what I mean? But there's the entertainment business, because I love it, you know what I mean?
Are you working on a project at the moment? Are we nearing a Dutchavelli project? Whether it be an LP, an EP, a mixtape, an album?
Yeah, I'm working on a mixtape at the moment. Nearly
finished?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that, man? What can you tell us about the project?
What can I say? Is, you know, with my music, it's only gonna be the best of the best in it. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna say something on the mic because it just fills the gap. You know what I mean?
Are there gonna be any curveballs on there?
Yeah, well, you have to wait and see. A curveball is the one you don't see coming, right?
Yeah.
So if I tell you that there's a curveball coming, there's not a curveball no more.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, are you going to be experimenting with your sound at all? I mean, we might be surprised if we hear, like, I don't know, maybe from what you've said today, and like wanting to maybe do the bilingual raps possibly, or maybe have a reggaeton thing, or like an Afro swing, Afro wave vibe, venturing into any of those territories on this project?
No, I don't think so. But you never know, because I could do all of that. I'm not even trying to sound cocky or nothing, but like, I could actually do it because I love music. You know what I mean? So like, if you deep it, like my sister does all types of music. You know what I mean? It's like when we're growing up in the house, we all types of music. So it's like the music that you're into, I'm gonna watch it because it's like I know you like good music, so I'm gonna indulge in it and see, oh, what's this about, and I end up liking it. And then the music that I'm into, you end up liking it.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? So it just stays diverse, and then there's 7 of us in the house. You know what I mean?
It's a boiling pot.
And then we all do music, we're all putting on the instrumentals and whatever, you know what I'm trying to say?
Straight up, man.
So like, yeah, man. I want to see what comes next from me as well, innit? In terms of sound development and what I'm going to do.
I mean, like you said, you released your first video, your first serious music in 2016. Maybe if you weren't locked up for a bit, you might have been ahead of where you are now, or at least at this point earlier on in your career.
Yeah.
Are you kind of around about where you expected yourself to be right now?
Yeah, you know what it is. You see, when you've released, like, or let's just say you've been part of like nearly 20 videos, it's like your expectations are different, isn't it? like you don't really expect no. I don't know how to explain it to you. Mm-hmm. It's like, but just imagine every video you drop, you think, yo, this is the coldest thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, this thing must do the damage that I needed to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say? And it doesn't, bro. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like when you drop something, it's like, I was just content with the slow grind, you know what I mean?
Straight.
And obviously I'm of the understanding that I've been away for a minute. Mm-hmm. And I thought I was going to have to come back and like prove to my fans that I'm going to be consistent and whatever, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You get what I'm trying to say? And just do the climb. But yeah, bro, as you can see, bro, it's just taking off in one song, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If
only you knew what I'd do for a decent place and a plate of food. That's the lines. There's a lot to be taken from that line, you know what I'm saying, of the latest single, man.
Yeah,
just break it down for anybody who just doesn't understand what you're saying right there.
If only you knew what I'd do for a decent house and a plate of food. Mm-hmm.
That sounds like coming from real struggles, man, at a place. I don't know. Is this a song that reflects a time in the last 2 years, or is this?
Bro, I don't end up in jail because it's fun, bro. Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone does. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
So that's basically what that's saying.
Put it as that, innit? Mm-hmm.
You know Talk to us about the latest single then, man. The making of this song.
The making of this song. Mm-hmm. I just hit the booth and lay it down.
Boom.
Bow.
And that was that.
And that was that, bro.
And we got one of your biggest tracks to date with the most traction, the most numbers and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you pay attention to that. I don't know if that inspires you or drives you. But this seems like the song which is breaking all of your numbers so far.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it does inspire me to go harder in the booth.
Straight up.
To be honest with you, I found out the other day that my song has reached the top 100 all-time sold songs in the UK.
See what I'm saying?
Making money, SK.
Yeah, is that what it is, yeah?
I'm telling you, cuz.
Just repeat that again, just in case I didn't hear that. What record did it break?
The top 100 all-time songs sold in the UK.
Yeah.
100.
Right, okay then. You heard it right there, man.
That's crazy.
Mazza.
You get me? Oh yeah, wait, before we go too far, it's on Apple. I don't know how accurate Apple is.
Okay.
iTunes and Apple, innit?
So it's on Apple iTunes.
Yeah.
There you have it, man.
But it feels good to know, you get me? We're making money.
Trust.
No. That's not like trust.
Listen, man, my interviews are hotter, you know. They're not cold, they're hotter. I feel like we had a decent conversation today. What are we saying?
100, bro.
Yeah, it was a good conversation,
it was
innit, man?
Still. It was a vibe.
Jeez. Hey, man. Blessings for 2020, man. I think you're going to have a good year still.
No, I think you're going to have a good year as well,
you reckon?
Yeah, I've been listening to you, bro.
Have you?
100%.
I feel like this man came in the building like, I don't even know who you are.
No, but you know what it is. Remember, you do radio. And I've been away, innit?
I hear you.
But when you said SK Vibemaker, I'm like, bro, this is my guy, man. What are you talking about?
Respect, man. Done, though.
You already know the vibes.
Respect, man.
Come on, my guy.
SK Vibemaker.